Hello everyone, I'm Isla from Dual Core Studio, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to create or draw water in pixel art. More specifically, top-down view for water or even maybe slightly angled. However, I will be doing 3D water shapes as well in the future for more advanced users, but for now I want to keep it simple for beginners. Meaning I will be using lower resolution pixel art. So 16 by 16 pixels will be the size of one tile, and I will use quite a big canvas so you can see how things look once you connect those tiles. Alright, so let's jump into it. Now I will show you two different ways how you can approach this. If you have Pixel Edit, which I'm using right now, you can use the thing that I'm gonna show you right away. However, if you don't have Pixel Edit or any other software which enables you tiling in this such a manner, then I will show you a different way how you can approach this. Alright, so if you have Pixel Edit, you will see this little bar which says tiles, and that's basically tiling system. So if I turn on the view for show tile indices or indices, not sure how it's pronounced, but anyways, you see that each of these tiles has this little red rectangle which kind of represents empty tile. So if I create tiles, you can see that I have 0 over here, and basically that's because I selected this empty tile and it's numbered with 0. And what happens next? If I draw anything on any of these zeros, it's gonna replicate them on all others, as you can see right here. Quite useful once you learn how to draw tiles. So I will be using this, and I'm just gonna draw a rectangle of 3 by 3 pixels, actual 3 by 3 tiles. So I have 9 tiles in total, and each of these tiles is just 16 by 16 pixels. It's quite easy to see how they connect, and that's why I'm using such a grid. Alright, so first things first, you need to know how to pick your own colors. If you don't know how to, I'll try to keep this as simple as possible. Now, of course, since this is water, you want to use something, well, in blue hue. So I'll keep this as simple as possible. So turn on the saturation all the way up. So just slide it all the way up, so you don't need to worry about values going into darker or lighter tones. Just and I mean this for saturation as well. So just bump it all the way, hue all the way to the end. All right, and pick blue color which is somewhere in between dark blue and teal. Okay, so let's say this one. All right, and this is going to be our mid-tone. Now you need two colors more, one for lighter tones and one for shadow. And the way you do this, if you want to shadow, of course you will go towards the lighter, darker colors, or in this case darker blue. So just go slightly towards the darker and bring the value of this part just towards the black color, so it's a bit darker as well. And now you can see we have two different colors, mid-tone and shadow. We will do the same thing for the lighter part, so where the light hits, but this time we're gonna go towards the light blue color. So go a bit down, and same thing goes for this little fella, just bring it down a little bit towards the light color, towards the white one. Okay, so right now we have three colors: mid-tone, shadow, and light. And the last one which we're gonna use is for highlights, which is basically the lightest part of the picture, and we can just go do that and use completely white color. So we have 4 colors in total. Okay, so now to the drawing of the water itself. First, choose your mid-tone, so just ignore the white one for now. Choose your mid-tone or the middle color and just paste it completely in. Okay, now use your lighter tone to create certain lines. Now this is where the fun part begins. There is no right way to do this. You can do this in a bunch of different ways and just try to experiment. So if I draw a line like so, for example, don't feel obligated to draw it in this exact way. Water moves in such unpredictable ways It's not really important how you draw it at first. If you want to animate it, you might want to be a little bit more careful how you draw it. But for now, let's just go inside and put some different shapes, all right? They just need to be a bit random, don't worry about it. So without too much worries, just draw. And now you can see where this little tiling system from Pixelator comes to be a bit more effective when you try to draw tiles. Now I can see right away that I can connect these two tiles like so. Quite simple, okay? Let's keep on. So just adding few random lines. Don't worry about it too much, okay? Now I want to clean up this just a little bit. Okay, so once I finish just putting some random lines, I want to check a few things. Number one is, are these tiles, actually the middle one, is it connected to the other ones seamlessly? So do we have empty spaces like this one? If we do, we want to connect them. Now since I'm using this tiling system, I don't need to draw this on the middle one, I can draw it on the other one. However, I can do the same to the middle one as well. So basically you just want to connect all the lines so they're all pretty much together. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that you don't want big chunks of water and then suddenly a bunch of small ones. So you can see this huge part as well. I'm just gonna divide it into two different parts. Same thing applies to this one and to this one as well. Now if I were doing this on higher resolutions, you can do this in different ways, but for right now let's keep it like so. Okay, now once you have a shape basically which is more satisfying to you than it was before, now you can go and put shadows. Now shadow, you basically just go and put it in the same line where you put your lighter tone. However, just right at it, so you don't go in the middle like so. You don't quite want that. Just put it all the way like here, so they should be next to each other. The lighter tone and the darker tone should be next to each other, and in the middle you can leave the mid-tone. Okay, so just go around and put it like so. Again, don't worry too much about it, it will turn out just fine. Again, you can see here I can use this styling system like so. Now they could be just one little pixel wide, however you can use it like so, so it goes to create a thicker line, okay? Be sure to cover each and every part of it. So each of these little blocks of water should have its shadow tone, mid-tone and light tone. And I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do with the white color as well, so with the highlights, okay? And you can watch over here how it turns out as a whole picture as well. Right, so right now all we need to do is add a bit of highlights, and that's just completely white color. No need to complicate things. And you put this highlight color on top of the lighter tones, and you try to put them where they connect to each other, so on intersections, so to speak. And you can watch it over here how it comes together. Again, just an intersection, nothing more, nothing too complicated, and this is it. You get this little water. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see how it turned out. If you want this to be a little more, a little less saturated, you can use this white color and just in the light blue color, just bring it up a little bit, and now you can see two different ones. It's still lighter than this tone, however it's a bit darker than the white one. If you want to, you could do that and just replace those two colors. Again, this is completely optional. You can use completely white color. And this is how it would look. It all depends what you want to achieve. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. If you don't have pixel edit and tiling system like this one, you would approach this on this way. Okay. Okay, just let me. All right. So once you finish, well, basically you'll just have one tile, 16 by 16 pixels, and you'll have this. And the way you will approach this, since you don't know how they act together, you can either copy paste it in, let's say, Photoshop next to each other and see how they look, or you can do this in more simple way, and which is basically just cutting it in half 2 times. So cut in half once, horizontally and vertically, and then just swap them on opposite sides. So the top right corner goes in the bottom left, and the top left corner goes in the bottom right, and vice versa. So let's do that. This one goes here, meaning this one goes here. This one goes here, meaning this one goes over here. Now you put them together and you'll have your tile. Now you might see that few of these are a bit different, and you can just go ahead and fix that right away. So you can just go something like this, play around a little bit. You can just fix the lines. When you draw water, it tends to be not as chaotic when you do them like, for example, dirt, and it's quite easy to fix. All right, so if you do this thing like so, and now you copy paste it, they blend in seamlessly once more. Okay, so that's quite simple. So 2 ways of doing that. You can use either the first one using the tiling system, or you can use this if you don't have tiling system. Just draw one tile, slice it in half 2 times, swap around the parts of the tile, bring them together, and then you can just fix it a little bit, and then you could just copy paste it and you get your tile. So that's about it. That's all you need to know how to draw 2D pixel art water. I will go into 3D shapes for a bit more advanced tutorials. Hope this helped you guys. If you liked it, please like it. Don't forget to share it with your friends, and please subscribe so you don't miss on future tutorials. Until next time, see ya later.